Hello and welcome to this video. Today you're going to add the top 10 phrasal verbs to your vocabulary to help you sound more fluent and more natural in English. Of course, I'm Jennifer from JForrestEnglish.com, and this channel is dedicated to helping you feel confident speaking English in public so you can take your career and your life to the next level. Now, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. Now, let's dive in with this lesson. Are you ready to add the top 10 phrasal verbs to your vocabulary? Well, let's get started with number one. Number one, to get ahead. To get ahead, this means to become more successful in work or in whatever you're doing. So if you're a student and you want to get ahead, that would be to become more successful with your studies, with your academic career. But we do use this a lot in terms of your career and your work. So for example, I could say it's difficult to get ahead in the film industry. So the film industry is a very highly competitive industry. It's difficult to get ahead, to be successful. Number two, to aim for. When you aim for something specific, you set that something as a goal or a target. So you have a goal or a target that you're aiming for. So for example, I could say, we're aiming for a 30% cost reduction by next quarter. So our target is 30% cost reduction, and that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're working towards. That's our goal or our target. Number three, to back something up. This is a very important one because it's something that everyone should be doing, but most people don't do. And when you back something up, it means that you save a duplicate copy of something. And in this specific context, we're talking about your electronic files. That's your something. All of your information is saved on your computer, right? Your photos, your personal information, your work, your records, your files, everything is on your computer. But what happens if your computer is lost, stolen, or destroyed? You're gonna lose all your photos, your personal files, your information, your work stuff, everything, right? Unless you back it up. Back it up. It being the contents of your computer. So you back it up, which means you just create a duplicate and then you save that duplicate in a different location. This is really easy because platforms like the cloud allow you to save your files online, to back it up online. But you can also buy an external hard drive and you copy all your information to an external hard drive, and then you have a duplicate in a different location. So a very important phrasal verb, to back something up, the something being your computer files. So answer honestly in the comments, when was the last time you backed up your computer? If you are saying, I've never backed up my computer, you need to stop right now and go back up your files. It's really important. Our next phrasal verb, to fall through. When something falls through, it means it didn't go as planned and it didn't go as scheduled. So let's say I had planned a vacation. And then I could be talking to a friend and I could say, we were supposed to go on vacation next week, but our plans fell through. So remember, if our plans, if they fall through, it means they didn't happen as planned or as expected. So it means we didn't go on our vacation, most likely because something else came up. So this is a really great one because you can use it in your personal life with plans, but you can also use it in a business context as well. Maybe you had a meeting with a client, but it fell through. So it didn't happen as planned. Number 5, to burn out. This is something you want to avoid, something that a lot of people are dealing with, but you really want to avoid it. Because when you burn out, it means that you are just completely exhausted because of stress. And that stress is usually the result of work or school if you're a student, or it could be something going on in your personal life as well. So there's some situation that's causing you just to feel 100% exhausted. Then at that point, you could say, I'm so burnt out. Or maybe you're talking to a friend that just looks exhausted, and your friend is talking about all these responsibilities she has, everything she's doing, and you can tell your friend isn't doing well. You might say, you should take a vacation before you burn out, because you don't want your friend to get to the point of being 100% exhausted. You want to avoid that. Our next phrasal verb, to chip in. I really like this one because when you chip in, it means that multiple people contribute towards a common goal or purpose. And what do they contribute? Well, they can contribute their money, their time, their effort, or other resources as well. So for example, at work, maybe one of your coworkers comes to you and says, everyone is chipping in for Maria's retirement party. So Maria's having a retirement party, and obviously you need to buy the food, buy a present, organize a lot of things. So everyone is going to chip in. They're going to contribute something differently towards Maria's retirement party. So I like this one because it has a nice sense of everyone being involved and working towards a common goal. Our next phrasal verb, to stock up. When you stock up on something, it means you collect or purchase a large quantity of something, a large number of something. Well, we saw this not too long ago where everybody went crazy and stocked up on toilet paper. Massive, massive amounts of toilet paper. Now that was an extreme version of stocking up. Usually when you stock up on something, maybe you'll just get 3 or 4 or 5 of the item. You don't necessarily get an entire garage full of an item. But for example, let's say you have an item that you use all the time and it doesn't go bad, like toothpaste, and there's a sale on toothpaste. It's a really great sale, so you should probably stock up. Stock up on toothpaste. And my version of stocking up would just be to buy maybe 4 or 5 tubes because that would last me a really long time. I'm not going to buy an entire garage full of toothpaste. So the toilet paper was an extreme example. Usually stocking up on something doesn't have such a negative association like it did with toilet paper. You just get a larger quantity than normal, usually because you can save money or just out of convenience as well, so you don't have to keep buying that product every time you go out. Our next phrasal verb, to put something off. When you put something off, it means you delay doing something. And that something is generally a task that you don't want to do. For example, cleaning the garage. Nobody wants to clean the garage, right? It's not really a fun task, but you have to do it eventually. So you could say, I've been putting off cleaning the garage for months. You know you need to clean it, but every week you say, oh, I'll clean it on Sunday. And then Sunday comes and you put it off. And you say, I'll do it next Sunday. And guess what? Next Sunday comes, you put it off. The same thing happens again and again and again. Now, unfortunately, many people put off tasks they should do, they need to do in order to reach their goals. And that's a big problem. It's a big problem in life because for me, not cleaning my garage, that isn't impacting my overall success in life. But a lot of people actually put off the exact things they need to do in order to achieve success. So ask yourself, is there something you're putting off that you should be doing? And are there other things you're putting off that you don't really care about, like cleaning the garage? Our next phrasal verb, to measure up. Now, when you measure up to something or someone, it means that you meet somebody's expectations. So you can imagine in terms of measuring, my expectations for your performance are here. Now, if you perform at this level, you didn't measure up to my expectations. However, if you perform at this level, you measured up, you did measure up, okay? And then at this point, I could say you exceeded my expectations. So you can not measure up, or exceed expectations. So it's common when you're evaluating a new hire, a new employee, you might ask the person in charge of that employee how they're measuring up. How's the new sales rep measuring up? And finally, our last phrasal verb, to shop around. This is a great phrasal verb, to shop around. When you shop around, it means you look at many different stores in order to compare products or compare prices. So let's say you want to buy a new car. Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to shop around. You're going to go to different dealerships, you're going to go to different websites, you're going to compare different cars, different prices, different features, all of that to help you make your final decision. So basically just the background research you do before purchasing a product, we call that shopping around. And obviously the internet makes it very easy to shop around. So now you have the top 10 phrasal verbs added to your vocabulary, but of course you need to practice. So let's do that right now. I want you to choose 3 new phrasal verbs or your favorite 3 from the list, and I want you to leave example sentences using all 3 in the comments below. Of course, you can do more than 3 if you like, but just to make it a manageable number, let's stick with 3. So leave those in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. And before you go, make sure you head on over to my website, JForrestEnglish.com, and download your free speaking guide. In this guide, I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. And until next time, happy studying!